We're back with another episode of Mommy Wines with your favorite wine mom, Emma Dawn. Tune in while she shares her motherhood experiences, introduces you to motivational and empowering special guests, and sips away your sins. In the Mommy Wines Confessional, mom life can sometimes get lonely and overwhelming, so she created this relatable, inclusive, and supportive space for us to be ourselves. Let loose, enjoy a glass of wine, and laugh. Get ready for today's episode. Here's Emma.
Hey wine moms, I am proud to say and celebrate that One Hope Wines has reached over $6 million in donations. One Hope's award-winning wines are made by some of the most acclaimed winemakers in the industry. Blending traditional winemaking methods with modern techniques, each exquisite bottle becomes a catalyst for change. One Hope's commitment to high-quality wine is just as important as their commitment to the causes they support. Through the sale of every bottle, One Hope has donated over $6 million to impactful causes around the world. They have built a school in Guatemala, funded over 19,000 days of clinical trials for breast cancer research, planted an entire forest in Indonesia, provided over 3 million meals for children in need, and found over 80,000 pets forever homes. If you're going to sip, then sip with purpose. onehopewines.com/myshop/mommywines. And if you have a cause that you would like to support, send me a message on Instagram. I would love to host a wine fundraiser with you. Check out the link in the show notes below.
Hello, Miss Emma.
Hi!
Finally, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Happy Friday to you.
Yes, you too. No!
Oh, no. It sounds like you're like choppy, like a computer.
Oh, here, let me try this because I had my phone plugged in. Is that better?
This is much better. I feel like one of those old ladies, like I can never get my tech stuff right. And my kids are always making fun of me because I'm opening my eyes real big and then squinting my eyes and turning the phone upside down like this.
Oh my gosh, I know. These remote recordings, I love them because I get to talk to people I normally wouldn't be able to talk to.
Right.
But then on the second hand, it's like there's so many technical difficulties. Last time it was like a blizzard storm that lasted.
Yes, I remember.
A day. It was like raining, hailing, snowing. But yeah, the technical difficulties of 2020 are
2020 period has been a hot mess.
I know. Oh,
how's the weather there now? Where are you again? Was it Colorado?
I'm in northern Nevada.
Oh, I was way off.
Well, it's still mountainy and in the west. You're very close.
Yes. It's where we are. We're in LA, so it's like the everlasting either spring or summer, just 24/7.
Just like Groundhog's Day.
Exactly.
The Fetching Barker is owned and operated by Milo, my 4-year-old son, an inspiration behind all that I do, Zeppelin, our rescue ESA golden doodle, and myself, your wacky and adventurous wine-sipping podcast host. Shop the most fetching and eco-friendly, natural, and handcrafted dog supplies. The Fetching Barker has everything your pup needs and so much more. From toys to travel essentials, a wide line of CBD and hemp products, snacks and treats, and so much more. Shop your favorite brands like Pet Head, Becco Pets, Papilla, Pendleton Pet, or find new brands that I'm sure you're going to love. Visit thefetchingbarker.com and feel good that a portion of all profits go to support global conservation efforts. That's thefetchingbarker.com. And people are always like, oh, I get like seasonal depression and all this stuff. But me, I never got that until I moved to Las Vegas. And it was the same day every day. I'm like, I need change.
Oh, we're waiting on rain. I would just love to have a day with no sun. I know that sounds crazy, but just one day where the sun is not beaming and there's wind and rain.
I know. I feel like
chill.
you need, changes to appreciate things. Like if you just like live the same day over and over, then it's like, well, you're not going to appreciate the sun. You're not going to like feel that like, ooh, that feels good. Like when it's like touching your skin and you go outside and the weather's nice. No, you're not going to.
Well, this sun is touching my skin too much. Enough sun already. It's freaking Christmas time.
Yes. Oh my God. Like me, if I were to go to LA, I would be like, oh my God, like this feels so good. I would have to like douse myself in sunscreen because I'm like Casper the Ghost over here. But I'd be like, oh, the warmth, But no, if you get that every day, there's no way you're going to be like, okay, well, I want to put on a sweater.
Yeah, it's nice until it's not nice anymore. It's like, oh, come on, it's hot. So like today we're in the 70s, and so everyone has their sweatshirts and their jackets because LA cold is different than the rest of America cold. We drop below 70, we think it's a wind chill.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
Have you been looking for the right opportunity to finally leave behind your daunting 9-to-5 and live that laptop lifestyle you've been dreaming of? No. This isn't another get-rich-quick scheme or some MLM. What I'm talking about here is bookkeeping. And yes, you heard me right, bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is how I am able to live my life without choosing between a career and my son, and how I am living and working around a schedule that's best for our lives, not someone else or office hours. Bookkeeping is one of the oldest administrative positions around, making this not only a common and respected career choice, but with today's technology and cloud-based programs, a position that's in demand and able to be done from anywhere. Bookkeeping is perfect for parents who want or need to work from home, military spouses who have no idea where they're going to be next, college students. If you're studying finance, why not get real on-the-job experience now? Retirees and frequent travelers. Maybe you don't want to carry around a lot of inventory, or you don't want to do any heavy lifting. This is perfect. You can work wherever you're connected. Basically, anyone who wishes to leave behind the chains of a cubicle, go ahead and check out edjconsultinggroup.com. My home bookkeeping masterclass is available under the resources page. But if you would like to join my team of remote bookkeepers, check out the My Team page at edjconsultinggroup.com.
I reached out to you because I'm also a bookkeeper and you're a bookkeeper. And I was like, oh my God, I need to talk to another bookkeeper because this year, first of all, has just been crazy. And the beginning of this year is when I decided to take my practice full-time and fully remote.
Good for you.
Thank you. I
Congratulations.
had a financial practice. I started it in 2013. But then when I was pregnant with my son and I moved out west, I totally just like shut everything down because I wasn't doing QuickBooks Online at the time. And I was like, oh, I don't know how like this is going to work, whatever. So a couple years ago in 2018, I decided I wanted to go back to work and I started building up a small little book of business out here in the West. And I was working out of the Maverick Center where the Grizzlies hockey team plays. And just doing bookkeeping and stuff. And then I registered my practice as a firm of the future, they call it, with QuickBooks Online. And I am like
I don't know. It's very exciting because it's like, obviously 2020 was a great year to take my company remote.
It was the perfect year.
But I am like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. I just want to talk to another bookkeeper so bad because I feel like nobody is going to get my frustration, or like when I talk to some of my friends who are stay-at-home moms or something, and I'm just like, oh, I swear to God, if one more person asks me about PPP loan money, I'm going to lose it. And they're like, oh my God, what is that? I don't know what that is. Oh, like nobody gets the struggles, you know?
Right.
And I'm like,
and as an accountant, just say I'm an accountant, so I do bookkeeping, I do accounting, and I do taxes. And I also do a little personal finance, but I steer more towards the accounting, bookkeeping, tax side. But it's been so many changes with the taxes, with the PPP, with people being on unemployment. And people are just not really clear as to how do they report their taxes? How do they keep their business going when there's no income coming in? You know, can I still write off all these expenses even though I'm not making any money? It's been so much confusion, you know, and if you don't know, you really don't know, and there's not always somewhere to go for guidance on those things. So we kind of just got to write it out, figure it out, and, you know, push through.
Oh my God. I have been so bombarded with questions. So either people are asking me questions that I am like constantly giving, like I'm constantly trying to like find answers for, because not only I was like, okay, yeah, like that's the answer. Okay, good. And then the next day, that's no longer the answer anymore.
It's a totally different, exactly.
It's
like with the coronavirus, like here in Los Angeles, we just went back on lockdown.
Oh, geez.
So all of our stores are closed at 10. No more hairdresser, you know, nail salons, all that. But, you know, you just never know when it's going to change, you know, especially when it first happened. 2020 has really taught us all to be agile. We got to be light on our feet. We have to be adaptable to change, because if you're just stuck in your way, you're going to get stuck and left behind, honey, because the world is flipping and flopping in so many different ways.
Oh my God, I know.
You just have to kind of go with it.
Yes. It has been like so crazy to kind of, because I always say I'm a really flexible person as long as everything's going as planned. And
because you're a bookkeeper.
But like this year, it has like tested me in so many different ways. And then I wanted to ask you this, because I have had this problem, is everybody's stress levels are so, like they're so elevated. I had one client who was an art gallery, and he bought out his partner this year. And I feel like this guy was always treated like a manager, not a part owner. Like his previous partner basically treated him like a manager, and never, because he had no idea. He didn't have any of his operating accounts. He didn't have anything set up with the states that he operated in. He it was like a struggle for me. Like I was handwriting his first 2 weeks of like his first 2 payroll checks. And I am like, oh wow. My God, guy, come on. Like, let's get it together. So me and this business attorney who I like kind of networked with when I was in Utah, we got everything figured out. We got all of his operating accounts set up. We got him registered with each state. And I think this guy was so overwhelmed with not knowing what he was doing, because he had no idea. His business partner took care of everything. And then on top of that, like coronavirus, he was like, oh, thanks for getting everything set up and thanks for making me legal, but I'm going to go, and like canceled his contract with me and started using his like private like residential tax account
after you did all the dirty work.
Yes. And I am like,
as many of you know, finance is my profession. when I'm not here laughing, sipping, and chatting with all of you. I have over a decade of financial industry experience, and financial wellness is such a passion of mine. Like many things in the world, finances tend to look a little differently for women, even in today's generation. Weevil has simplified the stock market and investing game with an easy-to-navigate, zero-commission platform that has free real-time quotes, multi-platform accessibility, 24/7 online help, and extended trading hours. If you're looking to increase your financial portfolio and set up your retirement IRA and start investing in yourself, click the link in the show notes below to receive 2 free stocks on me.
Yes. So we were out and about, and I was hoping I would be home in time. But I said, hey, this is 2020. I can pull over and do my call, and then we'll continue on by our business.
Oh my gosh. Well, I promise we are going to get it. And this is it. I might just give up on the Anchor app and just do Zoom because everybody else seems to be doing Zoom. And the Anchor app is so wishy-washy that I'm like, I just can't.
Oh, is it?
Sometimes, like,
and I've never used it before. I've never done the podcast, and anytime I listen to a podcast, it's usually through YouTube. So, I've never even used Anchor.
I love YouTube. That's probably why my phone is dead, because I put it on the charger last night, and my son had unplugged the thing from the wall, like the cord from the plug. So the plug was plugged in, but the cord wasn't plugged into the plug. So I charged my phone last night thinking that I was charging my phone. And I woke up and it was basically dead. And
but
I didn't no juice. Didn't even notice it until like an hour ago, because I'm like, oh, I charged it all night. It's fine. And then the pop-up came up and it was like, oh, your phone is like 20%. You got to put it on battery saving mode.
Dead, girl.
So I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, I was going to ask you, one of the questions I had was, have you had any trouble with any of your clients this year? Are they overly stressed? Are they closing their businesses down? Because that was the first time I'd ever had
in the personal services industry. So my clients are having to pivot because, you know, you can't really do hair like you used to, or you can open up for a few weeks and you have to close. So a lot of them are learning how to do tutorials online. I have 3 that are being trained by, what do you call these people? Social media people. Do how to do the online. So they're learning that. And obviously their sales have dropped, but they're still responsible for rent.
Oh, yeah.
The utilities obviously have dropped, but a lot of the landlords here at least are kind of lenient because we had an ordinance put on by our county that you couldn't evict anybody or anything like that. So the stress is starting to come from, we're end of the year, it's Christmas time, and people ain't got no money. That's what the stress is coming in. And it's not even like you can just go and get a job. You know, there's really nowhere to go and work unless you're going to do retail or fast food, but that's not putting food on grown people's table, you know, after you're used to having your business. So that's the frustration that I'm seeing. But I'm also seeing that people are eager to learn something new. I know when we first got shut down, I was actually, I don't want to say happy we got shut down, obviously, because all the people getting sick and all of that. But it was nice to not have to be up at 5, 6 in the morning, not, you know, having to be dealing with LA traffic in the morning, taking the kids to school. So what I'm seeing is a lot of business owners are taking that, the break. You know, we've had a break.
Yeah.
And you have to work it out and start thinking outside of the box. You know, even me, I'm working on an ebook on how to write a business plan, and I'm trying to put more of my stuff into digital format because so many businesses are going online, and so many businesses need to be trained on how to do their bookkeeping, how to do their taxes. So I'm like, well, then that's where I need to get in, where I fit in, and put together some packages, some digital packages. And then that way I can add to their education. As they're learning how to build their business online, I can teach them how to actually form the business, have a solid business plan, do your bookkeeping and your taxes the right way. You know, all of that. I can help educate my clients and hopefully future clients. So I'm transitioning more to online as well. So I commend you for doing the only virtual, because it's nice. But I'm not a social media person, so it's like I have to become a social. I don't even know what the social media people call. I call them social media people. So I'm having to learn, you know, and I've been online for a while, but it was kind of one of those things that I kind of blew off. You know, oh yeah, I didn't post yesterday, but now I'm having to get more serious about my online presence.
It's
and
crazy
I'm seeing
because
that with my clients.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I don't really post anything about much about my bookkeeping business or my financial practice. I do on LinkedIn, but I'm kind of actually, I took my company to QuickBooks Online. I used to use desktop, and then I moved to QuickBooks Online. And now I'm kind of, I feel like I have been working, I'm 31, so you're probably going to laugh at me, but I have been working so hard for so long. Like I moved out when I was really young. I was 16. And I feel like even before that, when I was able to get my work permit through my high school, if like anybody even remembers those days, because now everybody's like a TikTok star, so they don't have to get a job. But, but back in the day, you know, when kids had to pay for their car insurance and whatever things that they wanted to do outside of school, you had to go get a job. And I feel like I've been working so hard for so long, and I've had my practice I've bounced around in the financial industry, but I've been doing it for so long that this year has like showed me that like I kind of want to step into a management role in 2021. And I've been bringing on like other bookkeepers who are QuickBooks Online certified. But it's crazy because like people always ask me, they're like, oh, well, like, what do you do outside of podcasting? And because I have in the beginning of my episode, oh, podcasting isn't my full-time gig. Like I have like a job. And people always ask me about it because I don't know why, but I never post on social media about it. I feel like I have this like, I have all these little projects that fill up all my personalities. Like I have my podcast where I can like drink wine and talk to empowering women. And I'm like all girl power and like mom life, which my confession might make you die. It might give you a heart attack in your car. So hopefully one of your kids is old enough to drive.
I got 3. I'm a single mom with 3 boys. I got so many doggone confessions. I'm not telling y'all all my confessions on this podcast. I don't think there's nothing you can say to shock Miss Rachel.
Oh my God, I hope not, because my confession today. I have 2 for you, and it's like one of them is I'm kind of glad that we moved to Zoom because I always have my computer set up at my dining table, as you can see my kitchen in the back. And I was like sitting on the couch, like trying to prepare for this recording, and I could not get comfortable because typing all day, looking down and up all day, I did something that tweaked my back, and I am like, why can't a chiropractor or like a massage therapist ever slide into my DMs? Why is it always like some random person? I'm like, I am slowly dying over here in pain.
Let me get those knots out your back, huh?
Oh my God, I'm dying. And
oh, poor thing.
But like, I don't know why I don't ever post about it. But I saw your Instagram. You post about it all the time, and you have like tips and your descriptions.
I've started more because I used to do a lot of like just inspirational random stuff that I would throw in the business stuff. And I had to learn, if I'm online as an accountant, but nothing on my page says that I'm an accountant other than my bio. You know, nobody's going to believe me as an accountant. You say you're an accountant, but all we see is inspirational quotes and a Snoop Dogg meme. And, you know, so I went through my page and I deleted or archived so many old posts that had nothing to do with anything. And I kept some of my older ones on there. And I just started redoing, you know, current and make it more of a business page. And then I said, okay, well, the old ones I'll go back, change the way they look, you know, take the caption off of this one and put it to that one. So I'm trying to be more intentional about my social media. But at the same time, in social media, it's supposed to be fun. So, yes, I'm still going to throw a Snoop meme up there and so whatever, you know. But if I'm serious about bringing my business online, I had to be serious about bringing my business online. So I had to get serious about the branding and all of that. It's just social media.
Social media is such a pain in the ass. I like hate to say it, but it is. Like, it is such a pain in the ass. I have. So me and my son started a eco-friendly dog supply store, an e-commerce store this year, back in April. So we have an Instagram for that. I have a cute ass dog, so I have an Instagram for that. I have my podcast. I have an Instagram for that. And it's like, I don't do anything else. And then I have like my personal page, and people are like, a friend of mine is like a social media manager, and like she kind of builds up businesses online with social media.
Called. The social media people.
Yes.
The social media managers.
And she is like, you need to talk more about this, because I get DMs and stuff all the time of people who listen to the podcast, and they're like, what is it you do again? Like, because they see me in my stories, and because I post about it, like, oh, you know, just another day in paradise, and it's like a picture of QuickBooks. And
right. But there's nothing on the page about accounting or bookkeeping.
And I'm like, I have all these different things going on, filling up all these different personalities of mine. And I am just like, I don't know. Like, I love being a bookkeeper, and I love finance, and I love working with small businesses. But this year has really tested my patience. Oh my God.
And see, I have a passion for it. I like home decor and nails and all of that, and holidays and decorating. That has nothing to do with bookkeeping and taxes.
I know.
So I was thinking of starting, you know, a whole nother page next year focused on that. But then it's like, well, Rachel, are you focused on Miss Rachel's place, or you want to go decorating? You figure out what you need to do first. So I think what I'm going to do in 2021 is focus more on the bookkeeping, the accounting, but on the back end, that's just me. So I'm going to do that anyway. And I think maybe the following year, maybe I'll start a page, or I don't know, because I can be all over the place. If I don't focus, well, it'll be so much stuff on that page.
That is me. I'm like, my personal page, it's just like, I just post things I like.
That's the whole point.
Oh my gosh. And I love that you like to have fun with social media, because me and my son both love spooky things. And living out here in the West, there's so many like abandoned towns, or like things where people, because it's Nevada, right? Like, nobody really wants to live here. So like back in the day when they were going to California, they would stop here and be like, oh, we got to take a break. Our leg is broken. And then they'd build like a town and then go on.
I live here now.
Like, go on to California. And so like there's all these like ghost towns and like old mining towns and all this stuff. So we like to get out and explore a lot. And I started a spooky podcast about scary stories, and like my hometown is actually like super, what they say is to be like haunted. It's like super spooky. And so I just did like a series about that, and it's all like scary storytelling. And I posted a little creepy reel on my page the other day about me and my son exploring this old ghost town. And we like to do that because, well, he's 4. So he's not in preschool this year, which I am like, Lord, give me grace.
You gotta find stuff to do.
But so we go.
Is he your only one?
Yeah, he's my only one.
Okay, so you're having to keep him entertained, occupied, educated, disciplined, fed, bathed, hands out the sockets, everything.
It is like
been there, done that.
Pure
Girl,
chaos.
Got a t-shirt.
Pure chaos over here. And so we go to like some national parks. We've been doing things that we can do outside. We've been exploring these ghost towns.
Right.
We've been going in the mountains, hiking outside. And the other day I posted that we were exploring this ghost town, and I would say 3 were blatantly negative, and 1 other was like kind of iffy, because they're all like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe you're taking a baby ghost hunting. And I'm like, well, I'm not taking him ghost hunting. But what we do, we like to, oftentimes they'll have like these plaques around that tell you like the history of the place. So we walk around, we explore, we see what there is left to see, because normally it's just like nothing, or like a cabin from like 1800s or something. And then on the way home in the car, I will like tell him the story of the place that we just visited. And I'm like,
wow,
lady, if nobody else is going to teach my goddamn kid this year, then I am left to my own resources. Okay?
About some ghosts today, damn it.
You're going to learn about some ghosts, okay?
But that's the beauty of it. Like with the homeschooling, you can teach your kids whatever you want. I mean, yeah, you can do the math, the reading, but you're going to get in here and you're going to learn how to cook this chicken, you know? You're going to learn how to do this or that, because this is real life, you know?
Yeah.
Everything is not a book or a computer or a social media page, you know? And just like in business with your family, you got to work it out. And what you think is going to work, what you had all planned out, that's just not going to happen. I had all kind of stuff planned for 2020.
Oh,
and
me too.
COVID shut all of that down.
Oh, yeah, it went all the
it
shit.
doesn't mean that it's over. It just means I can't do it right now, you know. And I think we need to adopt that whole attitude in our lives, our businesses, with our kids, you know. And if you want to take your baby ghost hunting, take his little ass ghost hunting. Period. We on quarantine, damn it, everything goes.
I know. There's no rules in 2020.
There's no rules. You do what you want to do. Work it out. I'm like literally doing a podcast in the parking lot of the mall. Do what you want to do. That's what 2020 has taught me.
I want to see what your mall looks like. Is it empty, or is it like zombie with masks everywhere?
No, it is packed. There are people coming and going. I'm like tucked away in the parking lot, but ain't nobody on quarantine. This LA. These people will come out here and shop. They don't give a damn if Armageddon is tomorrow. Okay, they got to come and get them some new shoes before the Lord get back. This LA. Ain't nobody going nowhere.
I'm laughing so hard.
Here at 10 o'clock, and these people are lining up at the door at 9:58. Wait, I just got to run in real quick. That's just how it is out here.
I'm laughing so hard.
I'm like, where's everybody going? Are we shut down? And my brother was like, well, where are you going? I'm like, well, yeah, I guess that's got a point.
I know. Luckily, Milo we were actually talking about this a little bit before when we tried to record our podcast in the middle of a blizzard. But my son is 4, and he wants one thing. And he wants a bridge for his wooden train set. And I'm like, okay, $14, you're done.
Oh, well, you know what my oldest 2 kids want, and the third? They want a PS5.
Oh, geez,
So
everybody wants a
told
PS5.
me that they wanted a wooden bridge. I'll be outside cutting a tree. Do you know what I'm going through right now trying to get another PS5?
Oh, my God.
Yes, I would give you a little wooden wooden bridge.
That's what he wants, a wooden bridge.
That is so cute. Because when they're little, it's all about the hype, the wrapping paper. You can go get them 100 toys at the Dollar Tree. They won't know the difference. They start getting older. They checking tags. And this is not authentic. This isn't real. This is not the real one. Like, no, it looks like it to me.
Oh, my gosh. And with you having all boys, I bet one of them has to be a sneakerhead. One of them has to.
We just went and bought sneakers. And my oldest two are in men's shoes.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just as bad as them with the tennis shoes. I just bought me a pair of shoes. I bought the older two boys some shoes. And then I'm going to get the baby, well, he's my baby, a pair of shoes. But we're all sneakerheads, too. And it's not cheap to be a sneakerhead.
No, because with boys don't have, like, the wide range of clothing as girls do. But I feel like my nephew, me and him are so close in age that we practically grew up like siblings. And when he got to high school, it was like football and sneakers. That's all he wanted was to play football and wear sneakers. And I'm like, what is your deal? Like, what is your obsession with sneakers? And he's like, what is your obsession with everything else? And I'm like, he's like, it's just what guys
I'm
like.
like a girly tomboy. I love tennis shoes. Like, I'll have my hair done, my nails done, all of that. But I got Nikes on. I'm not running around the Target in those stilettos. I got 3 boys. Like, where am I going with all these high heels on? Nowhere.
Oh
Give me my ideas and we out.
That is funny. I gotta like sit up straight. This is killing me. See,
oh, your poor back.
I know. I'm like so. And it's like funny because I was sitting on the couch getting ready for our recording. And like I was telling you, I was like trying to get comfortable. And then I realized, I was like, oh my God, I forgot a glass of wine. And then I went to get up and it like tweaked. And I'm like, I'm sitting back down. Oh my gosh. So actually, let's go ahead and get into confessions. Did you prepare a confession for me?
Well, I think mine is my biggest thing is I'm still learning. I'm 42 years old. My oldest son will be 17 in February. And I'm just finding out that this boy doesn't like oranges. I'm like cutting up fruit. And I'm like, I'm cutting up some fruit. There's some oranges over there. And the oldest was like, well, I don't like oranges. And I'm like, well, since when? He was like, I haven't liked oranges in years. I'm like, now we've been on quarantine for damn near a year. He's been my child for damn near 17 years. And I didn't even know you didn't like for how long? And it was just a reminder that no matter how good you are, no matter what you're doing, something is always going to slip through the cracks. Like, I had the perfect mom, and she missed stuff, So if I'm a single mom, I have 3 boys, I'm running a business, we're in the middle of a freaking pandemic. If I don't get everything 100% right, hey, put them Nikes on and deal with it.
There you go.
That's my confession. I'm still figuring it all out. And I still got a way to go because my youngest is 9. So I would have been almost done, but I got a long way to go. And mommy's getting old. So by the time he gets their age, who knows? Who knows?
Okay, I have to tell you a secret. Coffee is literally one of my food groups. Having my son home with me all year, expanding my practice EDJ Consulting Group, relaunching my super fun and spooky podcast, Tales After Dark, and running our eco-friendly pet shop, The Fetching Barker, it's honestly what keeps me moving and retaining the little bit of sanity I have left. Coffee over cardio is my go-to lifesaver. It's owned and operated by female entrepreneur Abby Scott, and it's all carb-free, sugar-free, keto-friendly, and gluten-free. Like, seriously? It's totally guilt-free. With super fun flavors like birthday cake, cinnamon bun, French toast, vanilla hazelnut, my favorite, and so many more, you can't go wrong. Coffee over cardio Even has all your coffee accessories like tumblers, frothers, creamers, and my must-have hydrate that you can add to coffee or water, upping the flavor and the hydration with electrolytes. Abby is seriously a genius. Get 10% off when you use code 10EMMADAWN and free shipping on orders over $85. Once again, that's code 10EMMADAWN. The link is in the show notes below.
Oh, who even knows what kids are going to be into then? Like, I'm so curious. That's one of the things I think about. Like, I'm so curious to see, like, what Milo is going to be interested in when he's a teenager, because I feel like I'm 31, but I was a teenager, like, 2 years ago. Like, I still remember it, you know? And it's so crazy because, like, I look at kids now. Like the other day, actually, no, let's use this example. This morning for lunch, it was like 11:30. I went over to the Subway to pick up my sub that I strangely ordered off of the internet. So freaking weird to me. But I go over to Subway, and there, I swear to God, is an infant that pulled up next to me in a car, and he got out of the driver's seat. And I'm like,
what was it?
I called him an infant, like a baby. And I am like, there is no way this kid is legally driving a vehicle right now. And I'm like looking at him, but I'm like, I remember being 16 and thinking like, oh man, like I gotta like get married. I gotta buy a house. I gotta do all this stuff because if I'm 30, when I'm 30, I'm gonna be old. And then I'm like, oh my God. Like I just had that moment where I'm like looking at a 16-year-old and I'm like, damn, that kid just came out of the womb. He is not legally.
You're old, honey.
I'm old. I'm feeling it.
But you still, I got 10, 11 years on you, so you're just fine.
Oh, man.
But once you start hitting those 40s, the knees start cracking and the back really start popping. So do your squats, do your calisthenics, because that shit will stiffen up on your ass.
Oh my God.
It will definitely stiffen up on you.
I gotta do squats because I have my nickname as a kid. Like my mom used to call me Bubble Butt because I had especially like when it's not like I had a big butt or anything, but it was just like there. And I always had a hard time finding jeans to fit me because my thighs were thin and my waist was thin. But then I had this like little peach booty that everybody loves nowadays. And back then I was like, oh God, I got to find a way. I got to like sit down more or like maybe run.
The booty is in now, honey.
It is in. But I'm like, okay, now it's in and I'm 31. And like, I swear to God, as soon as I turned 30, my whole body just went to shit because like my metabolism slowed down.
Everything changes.
My butt is going flat. I'm like, now I got to do squats because my butts are in. And I'm like, I can't be losing my butt. It's what I got going for me in life. Like,
you got to keep what you got. You got to know what your assets are, and work them, honey.
Oh, my God. I am going to title the podcast, this episode, I'm going to title it, Know Your Assets with Miss Rachel.
Oh, that's a good one for 2 accountants and bookkeepers. That's a good one. Know your assets, honey. Love them and highlight them.
Oh my gosh. So are you working from home? Like, have you always been working from home or has 2020 moved you?
Work from home. I started my business in 2015, but I was still working a 9 to 5. And then life just had its way. And I needed to no longer be living the 9 to 5 so that I could be a mom. You know,
it's
as
hard.
a single mom with 3, it's hard. And you're trying to get up and go to work every day, but you have a full family who needs this and that and that. But it's like, yeah, but they need to eat too. So I had to go to work. And then it didn't work. That just did not work. So I just went full-time, just went rogue and just went full-time. Little by little, I've been building the practice up. So it's stable enough now to where I'm doing Christmas Nike shopping So we're doing okay. But in 2021, I really would like to step that up. And I think that by focusing on my social media and online presence, hopefully that would help. And then two, but I don't want to do too much processing because there's only so many hours in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to be doing, typing 12 hours a day, inputting and things like that, which is what I'm really thinking about the digital educational material.
If you did, you're going to throw your back out like I did. Sitting there working your ass off for 12 hours a day.
My hand locked up and my arm and everything, just from typing so much, because I've been doing accounting since I graduated high school when I was 18. So we're talking 24 years.
Oh, geez.
That's a lot of doggone typing.
Yeah,
that's a lot of typing.
You're going to get carpal tunnel.
Exactly. Been there, done that. So I think the COVID, I don't know. COVID was a positive break for me. Again, I do not want to make light of the people who have unfortunately lost their lives, their family who's been sick, who's lost their livelihood, any of that. But for me, just being able to take that break and being forced to pivot has been helpful for me. Because it seems to me when I'm backed up in a corner and you have no other way out, you have to figure something out.
Yeah.
As opposed to just going along, I want to change it, but now is not the time, or I shouldn't do it yet, or, you have all these excuses and reasons why. But when everything shuts down, you're like, oh, this way? Oh, okay. I'll try that.
I know. I feel like one of the silver linings of this year, I still can't even, comprehend how... And I always look at things from the financial side. I'm just I can't believe, because I look back and I'm like, okay, the Ebola, the bird flu, the whatever the hell, Zika virus, all of these other things, nothing has been as big as this to where it's like a complete shutdown. And I do feel like social media does influence that, because people are so jump scared that I'm like, okay, is E. coli worse or better than coronavirus? Or is Zika virus? Because I traveled to Miami. I was just talking about this with Kayla. If you listen to the show, it's the last 2 episodes with Kayla, and she's in Miami. And I was like, oh my God, I traveled to Miami when I was pregnant with my son. Luckily, it was freezing in Miami. It was 50 degrees. And I'm like, what a great week. It was a fluke thing. It was 45 to 55 degrees the entire week I was there. Hasn't happened in Miami for 6 years. But of course, the 1 week I go on vacation, this is a vacation I had planned before I found out I was pregnant with my son. And I decided to still go because I was like, okay, this is the last trip. I'm going to go down. I'm going to eat Colombian food, and I'm going to dance, and it's going to be fun. And no, it was a freaking Frosty the Snowman went on vacation the same week I did. So I had to go. I had all these cute maxi dresses. I was all ready to be Miami, right? So I had to go into one of these gift shops, and they had a sale going on because it was cold. If you buy 2 sweatshirts for $25 or something like that. So I left with 4 sweatshirts that were those spray painted graffiti shirts that were I went to Miami and I
went to and I got this t-shirt.
I heart Miami Beach. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so Jersey Shore. I can't even take it. And but I'm I'm looking at the financial side of this, and how many people have lost their homes, have lost their jobs, their businesses, that my clients are having to close down or go completely out of business because it ruined them, or they're just temporarily shutting their doors, reopening for a week and then having to shut down again. And I'm like, I don't know, hopefully it comes to a close, because
I hope so soon. I think if everybody cooperates,
we can't go on like this anymore.
Faster, but until you get everybody on the same page, it's just going to drag on and on and on. It's like being in a class where, you know, you're the goody two-shoe. And your teacher says, okay, on Friday, as long as everybody is good, we can have a pizza party. But you got those 3 fools in the back who turn up Monday through Friday, and come Friday, you don't get your pizza party.
Oh,
and
so
you go through it again next week.
Those fools are always the ones that are bitching. They are always the one bitching.
Bad.
They're like,
but nobody can get their party because you got a few people who won't cooperate. And it's like, that's what I'm seeing with COVID. You know, some people want to do this, some people want to do that. And we all have a right to feel whatever. But if we all just get on one bandwagon, ride this sucker out together, we can be done with this, or at least be able to sustain our businesses, go back to work, open up our shops without having so much turmoil, without it having to close down next week. If everybody just gets on one page, but good luck with that.
Oh my God, I know. Luckily for
so here
us,
we are in November. What is this? December, and
it's almost Christmas.
Really started.
It's December.
It's almost a whole new year.
It's December,
and we're literally just getting started. So,
I know.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I love that phrase. I love it. Luckily for us, taxes, you know, they might give you PPP loan money, and they might give you, you know, some grants to keep your business open and through the pandemic, but taxes are always going to be paid. Mm-hmm. So me and you, like, we might be one of the people who we might be affected.
We still have a job.
Yeah, like we might be affected. You know,
we might not be able to get your hair done, your nails done, but Uncle Sam wants his money, honey.
Oh, yeah.
On the 15th of every April. Now, we lucked out this year by them postponing it, but he's coming to collect every year. So we are we're always going to have work.
we're going to be good.
Well, we're good. We got to blow the whole world up for us to be without work. Because Uncle Sam is coming to collect those coins, honey. You best believe that.
I think
all y'all could be dead, but somebody gonna run that check in. He's coming to get it. He's coming to get his money, honey.
I don't think zombies could shut that down.
It's not shutting it down.
No.
No. Your great grandkids will be getting letters in the mail. Somebody, Grandma Rachel on IRS. Yeah, now you on IRS, baby.
So true.
So he's coming to get that money.
God bless America. Keeping us in business.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Well, we are going to have to talk after this because I have decided to step into a management role in 2021 and expand my practice. And I feel like you would love to hear how I'm doing that. So after, not on the podcast, of course.
Absolutely.
It's a little secret between me and you. I'm going to share with you how I'm doing that.
Lips are sealed.
So it was so great having you on. Go back to your Christmas shopping. Get something good for your boys.
Thank you. Yes, go spend up some more of this tax money and this bookkeeping money.
Well, share with everybody listening.
And you go do some more ghost hunting. Don't let nobody stop you from finding those ghosts.
Oh my gosh. Milo is so into it. He won't read a book about a puppy or a rabbit or like whatever. He won't read any of these kid books, but he will watch like Psychic Kids with me, or he will listen to these historical stories like in the car all day long. He's always asking me to tell him a scary story.
That's something from inside. So if that's something he has, roll with it.
Oh, he loves it. And I love it too. Like it's kind of funny because I am the biggest freaking baby. I hate being scared. The only thing that scares me in the world, because I already know people are crazy. I'm not afraid of sharks because I'm not going in the water.
I'm not afraid of heights because I'm not afraid of heights because I ain't jumping out of no plane. Okay, so nothing scares me. But you know what scares me is the things that I don't know, and that is ghosts because nobody knows. Right. Unless you have died and come back, nobody knows. And I'm like, that is what scares me, like the unknown. And I'm so, I'm such like an OCD person, and I'm such an anxious person that when I feel like out of control, that is when I'm like, okay, it's not for me. That's why I'm single.
Too much. That's too much for me.
I can't have anybody touching my dishwasher, okay? Makes me uncomfortable. So... like, that's what gets me is like these scary stories because like that is so unknown that I can't control that. I can control if I jump out of a plane or not because I'm not doing it, or go in the ocean or not because I'm not doing it. Like I don't fear those things because those things aren't realities in my world. But like ghosts, they could be anywhere and you don't even know.
Call on Jesus and keep it pushing. Y'all stay over there, and me and the Lord will stay over here.
They could be here right now.
We're running out the building, hooping and hollering. Oh, no, was that a ghost? I'm out of here.
It cracks me up because, like, I'm so interested in that stuff. And I have, like, this scary story podcast, and we go and we visit all these scary things. But I would be the first person running back to the car if, like, something, like, showed up that wasn't supposed to be there. I'd be like, I'm out of here. But tell everybody where they can find you online in social media. We're gonna build that up. You
can find me. All right, thank you. Well, you can find me on Instagram at Miss Rachel's Place. That's MZRACHELZPLACE. I know it's a lot. It's Miss Rachel's Place with Z's. That's it. Just because I'm that kind of girl. I'm not an S girl. I'm a Z girl, honey.
You are. I like it.
So thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure.
I'm glad we finally worked this out. I knew it was going to happen.
We made it through the hour.
Oh my God. Don't I know it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Mommy Wines podcast. Make sure to leave a rating and review. To support the show you love, check out the exclusive branded merchandise on themommywines.com. For extra sassy, honest, and potentially controversial content, make sure to join me over on the Mommy Wines Patreon. Also, don't forget to check out the other shows on the MW Network. If you love scary stories and true crime, you'll love Tales After Dark. More shows are coming soon, so make sure to stay connected on social at Mommy Wines Podcast. And until next Wine Wednesday, mamas, parent and drink responsibly.